Hello students, today I'm going to revise with you the entire class 8 maths course formulas right from chapter 1 to the end of the book. So this is the revised textbook of NCERT. So you can revise all the formulas with me starting from the first chapter to the last chapter. So you can bring your pens and pencil and start revising all the formulas with me. So if you look at this textbook, we are referring to the rationalized textbook 23-24, and we are going to discuss all the formulas that you need for this class 8 the entire year, right? So in many schools, they must have almost finished the syllabus. So this is important that we go through the entire course because this year, the final syllabus will be for class 8, the full syllabus. Earlier, they used to have few chapters deleted and so on. But now we are going to have the full syllabus in the final exams. So that is why I am discussing this so that you can start revising the entire thing. So this is the syllabus in front of us. As you're seeing, this is the rationalized content. So there are two chapters which are deleted. As if you compare with the old syllabus, there is no constructions and there is no visualizing solid shapes. So we have only 13 chapters, and I'm going to discuss these chapters which are here. If there are any formulas, we are going to discuss all that in this video, right? So chapter 1 and 2 doesn't have any formulas, rational numbers and linear equation doesn't have any formulas. You just have to solve using properties. In chapter 3, we have a few formulas which I'm discussing now. First of all, you have to remember the formula for finding out the number of sides and number of angles in a polygon. So here we are given a polygon, measure of exterior angle of a polygon. So if we look at this, always remember when we add up the exterior angles, that is always 360. So this is one property you should know, that sum of the external angles or the exterior angles of any polygon is 360. You are already aware that sum of angles of a triangle is 180. Sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360. And here, this is an important property that if you measure the external angles of any polygon, 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides, all these angles, exterior angles together will give us 360. So therefore, we can find the number of sides of any regular polygon. Regular polygon means a figure which has got equal sides. So number of sides, this is the formula, number of sides can be found by using this formula 360 divided by the exterior angle. 360 divided by the exterior angle will give us the number of sides. So here the question is find number of sides whose exterior angle is 45. So if the exterior angle is 45, 360 by 45, you are getting 8. And if you want to find out the exterior angle, we can use the formula 360 divided by number of sides. So these are two formulas. Number of sides of any polygon can be found by using the formula 360 divided by the exterior angle and exterior angle of a regular polygon. We are dealing with only regular polygons. Okay. So when I say polygon, it is understood that we are dealing with only regular polygons. So exterior angle of a regular polygon will be 360 by number of sides. And another important thing is that when you are having the exterior angle and the interior angle, they will always add up to 180. Exterior angle plus interior angle is 180. This is important because sometimes instead of exterior angle, they are going to give you interior angle. So interior angle is 30, suppose. So exterior angle is going to be 180 minus 30, that is 150. So always remember when the interior angle is given, the exterior angle can be found out by using this property that interior and exterior angle together will give us 180. So we can find the number of sides, right? So all these questions are based on this. Find the measure of the exterior angle of a polygon when sides are given 9. So formula will be measure of exterior angle will be 360 divided by number of sides. And this is the reverse question. How many sides does the regular polygon have? So number of sides will be 360 divided by measure of the exterior angle. And here you see here interior angle is given 165. So when interior angle is given, we can find out the exterior angle, because as I told you, interior plus exterior is 180. So the exterior angle will be 180 minus 165, 15 degrees. So this is the formula that we have to learn in this chapter. Chapter 4. In chapter 4, we have this formula to find the central angle. To make the pie chart, we need central angle. So to find central angle, there is a formula here. Whatever is here, suppose we want to find out 90 is in terms of the angle, how much it is. So first we will find out the total of this. So when we add this, we are getting 360, right? So central angle will be, this is, let's say this is the value of x. So x upon total multiplied by 360. Always we will multiply by 360. So here we will get 90 upon 360 into 360. So it so happens that these are same, but it may not be same. It's cancelling and we get the angle as 90. Similarly, this will become 120 by 360 into 360, that is 120. So if I use this and find out the central angle in this question, like this is a sample of a chart that 18 people are liking blue, 9 are liking green, and so on. So if I am doing this, the central angle will be x upon, so 18 upon total. The total here is 36 multiplied by 360. So 36 goes 10 times, we are getting 180. Same way, the next one, 9 by 36 into 360. 36 goes 10 times, we are getting 90. So we will be able to find the central angle to draw the pie chart by using this formula, x upon total into 360. X is variable. So normally you will find represented by xi, because here xi refers to the variables 90, 120, 150. So independently, we have to calculate all this. There will be separate answers for each column. In this exercise, we have probability, and probability is represented PE. P stands for probability, E stands for the event. So whichever event is happening, tossing a coin, throwing a dice, picking up a card, all these are events. P stands for probability. Formula is number of favorable outcomes. Favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. So what is favorable to you, that will come in the numerator, and total outcomes denominator. So always remember, probability will always be between 0 and 1. It cannot be less than 0, no negative numbers, and probability cannot be more than 1. So all answers will be between 0 and 1. It can be 0, it can be 1. So 0 is impossible event. So you are 100% sure that it will not happen. That is an impossible event. Then the probability is 0. And if you are sure that it will happen at any cost, then probability of sure event is 1. So everything lies between 0 and 1. And this is the formula, right? This is the formula. So for example, if a die is thrown, what is the probability? It's a prime number. So we know that 2, 3, and 5 are prime. When a die is thrown, we have 6 outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 outcomes. But 1 is not prime. Remember that. 1 is neither prime nor composite. Many people write 1 as prime. No. Because prime numbers will have 2 factors, 1 and itself, whereas 1 has only 1 factor. So 2 is a prime number, 2 and 1 factors. 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number. Okay. So prime numbers will have only 2 factors, 1 and itself. So 3 prime numbers. So probability of getting a prime will be 3 upon 6, that is 1 by 2. So this is how we do probability questions. Here, of course, we have to just find the outcomes, but later on, they're also asking us to find out what is the probability. So probability, again, I'm repeating, number of favorable outcomes by total outcomes. Chapter 5, squares and square roots. Of course, there is a method to find out square root, that is prime factorization. Another method is repeated subtraction method, and another method is the long division. So there is no formula, there is a procedure for that. As far as formula is concerned, there is one formula is this, that how to find whether one member of the Pythagorean triplet is given, then find the others. So remember, the Pythagorean triplets are 2m, m square plus 1, and m square minus 1. This is the formula by which we can find out. So let's say if one number is given 6, so what we'll do is equate 2m to 6, m will be 6 by 2, m will be 3. And if the question is find out the other members, here one member is given, find the other. So this is going to be 3 square plus 1 and 3 square minus 1. 3 square plus 1 will be 9 plus 1, that is 10. And 3 square minus 1 will be 9 minus 1, that is 8. So one number was already given 6. The other numbers we have found 10 and 8. So 6, 8 and 10 are Pythagorean triplets. The next chapter, chapter 6, doesn't have any formulas, cubes and cube roots. We go on to chapter 7. And in chapter 7, we have comparing quantities. The first formula that we find is in calculation of the discount. Now, discount is found by subtracting the mark price and the sale price. So you know that when we go to a shop, there is something called a mark price or MRP. So you are going to buy a notebook. The cost of that is 100 and the shopkeeper decides to sell it at 80. So you are getting a discount of 20 because discount is mark price minus sale price. So this is the first thing that we have to know. And secondly, there is taxation. Now, when there is a tax, the price is going to go up, right? So how do we do that? So when there is a sales tax, we will add the tax amount to the price, and that's how we get the total price. For example, here air cooler is 3,300 and there is a tax of 10%. What was the price when the tax was added? So here the price of the original price plus the tax will be the total amount payable. So discount is always subtracted to get the total amount, whereas that is the sale price. Whereas in case of taxation, we have to add the tax to the original price so that we will get the total amount. So here, this is 3,300. This was inclusive of tax. Inclusive of tax, we had to find out the price before the tax. So when they calculated, they found 3,000 was the original price. Tax was 300 rupees, isn't it? The tax is 300 rupees, and that is why the total price was 3,300. So it is important to check whether the price was including the tax or excluding the tax. If it is excluding the tax, then you have to pay tax on it and the amount will increase. It is already inclusive of tax, means that is the total amount payable, right? So some question they will say inclusive of tax, and then that means this amount before VAT was added will be lower than this, right? And in some questions, you will find that this is the TV and then there is a sales tax. Find the amount that we know it has to pay. So here you'll have to pay extra 12% tax and the amount is going to increase for this television. Then we have compound interest. Now, compound interest can be calculated by a formula. You should also know simple interest. So simple interest formula is PRT by 100. Principal into rate into time upon 100. This is the formula for simple interest. And compound interest can be found by using A minus P. And how do you find A? A is the amount, is found by using the formula P1 plus R by 100 to the power n, where P is the principal. The money that you're depositing in the bank is the principal. R is the rate and n is the number of times he is getting the interest, right? So A is P1 plus R by 100 to the power n. And only one thing that you have to remember is sometimes when there is a depreciation, then instead of 1 plus R by 100, so population increases, bacteria increases, money increases when you put in the bank. But when you sell something, let's say you buy a scooter and then you decide to sell it after 2 years, the price will decrease or depreciate. So then we will use the formula P1 minus R by 100 to the power n. So there is a slight difference in the sign. Here the price is going to increase. And if you are depreciation question, then you have to put minus. And when there is minus, the price of that commodity will decrease, right? So you have some questions where the price is increasing and some questions where the price is decreasing. So here you find that the bacteria, this is increasing, but here it's a question of depreciation. The price is going to decrease. Then chapter 8 doesn't have any numerical. Then we come to chapter 9, that is mensuration. Mensuration has quite a bit of formulas, so we'll discuss one by one. So initially they are discussing 2D figures. So we will start with the 2D figures. So here we have trapezium. Okay, let's start with the 2D figures. And then we'll go to the 3D figures. So area of a square can be found by using the formula side square. Area of a rectangle is length multiplied by breadth. Area of a triangle is half base into height. If the base is given and the height is given, area is half base into height. Rectangle is L into B, area is side into side. Area of a circle is pi r square. And perimeter of a circle, that is the outer boundary length, perimeter of circle, which is called the circumference, can be found by using the formula 2 pi r. Area of a parallelogram. Area of a parallelogram can be found by using base into height. If you have the base and height of the parallelogram, we can find area of parallelogram. Area of a rhombus is half diagonal 1 into diagonal 2 or base into height. So if base and height is given, we can use the same formula as parallelograms. And area of rhombus is half diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. Area of a trapezium. If you are having a trapezium, so there are a lot of questions based on trapezium here. The parallel sides are A and B, suppose, and this is the distance between the parallel sides h. Then area of the trapezium can be found by using half h bracket A plus B, half height bracket sum of parallel sides. So these are the figures of the 2D that are mentioned here. So we have trapezium here, we have rhombus here. This is again trapezium, rectangle. So all this will be 2D figures. So these are the formulas that you have to remember for 2D. We also have a formula area of quadrilateral. So if you have a general quadrilateral in which the diagonal is given and the offsets are given, these are called offsets. Actually, these are two triangles. I can find the area of the two triangles and add, or I can use a formula. Area of quadrilateral is half diagonal, half AC, bracket sum of the offsets, H1 and H2. Okay, basically we're adding the area of the two triangles, but this is the direct formula, half diagonal, that is half AC, bracket sum of the offsets. So there is one question where we can use this formula, that is this question number 4, half diagonal, half 24, bracket sum of the offsets 13 and 8. Then we have the 3D figures here, and in 3D figures we have only 3 shapes, that is cubes, cuboids, and cylinder. Only 3 figures are there, cube, cuboid, and cylinder, as mentioned here. So here I'm going to next do the 3D. So as mentioned in the book, the first one is cube. All sides are equal here. So lateral surface area, LSA, is 4 side square. Lateral surface area means the top and bottom are open. Total surface area will be 6 side square. All sides covered. It's a closed box. And volume can be found by using formula side cube. If you're looking at a cuboid, we'll have 3 dimensions, length, breadth, and height. Lateral surface area, also called area of 4 walls. That means the top and bottom are open. 2h bracket L plus B. This is the lateral surface area. If all the sides are closed, then we'll use 2 bracket LB plus BH plus HL. And volume of a cuboid, we will use LBH. And the third figure that we have to do is cylinder. Cylinder Curved surface area we call, because here we say lateral surface area, here we say curved surface area because this surface is curved. So curved surface area will be 2 pi RH. Remember, pi will be 22 by 7 unless specified, or sometimes they will ask you to take 3.14. Otherwise, for all practical purposes, use pi as 22 by 7. Total surface area, we will use the formula 2 pi r plus h. This is when the cylinder is open, curved surface area 2 pi r h. If it is closed at both the ends, we will use 2 pi r plus h. And volume can be found by using pi r square h. So we have 3 formulas each for cube, cuboid, and cylinder. Now we come to chapter number 10. Chapter number 10 is exponents and powers. So here we need to know the laws of exponents. Exponents. So we are going to do the laws of exponents. So the first rule says that when you multiply two numbers, x to the power a, x to the power b, two numbers with the same base, the powers will get added. X to the power a, x to the power b will become x to the power a plus b, right? So 7 cube into 7 to the power 2 will become 7 to the power 3 plus 2, that is 7 to the power 5. X to the power a upon x to the power b will be x to the power a minus b. When you have two numbers, the base is same, and you're dividing this, the powers will get subtracted. So 7 to the power 5, 7 to the power 2 will become 7 to the power 5 minus 2, that is 7 cube. Third rule says that if you have two powers, then the powers will get multiplied. So x to the power a whole to the power b will become x to the power ab. 7 cube whole to the power 2 will become 7 to the power 3 into 2, that is 7 to the power 6. Fourth rule, if you have two numbers, now the base is different but the power is same, then you will multiply the base and write the power as it is. That means 7 cube into 8 cube. See here, the base is different. If the base was same, we will add the powers. Here the base is different, powers are same. Then we will multiply the base and keep the power as it is. So 7 into 8 to the power 3. So answer will be 56 to the power 3. Then any number to the power 0 is 1. Whatever is the number, high number, low number, 101 to the power 0, answer will be 1. Any number to the power 0 is 1. Then any number with negative power. So if you want to make it positive, take the reciprocal. So 7 to the power minus 3 will become 1 by 7 to the power 3. So whenever there's a negative power, you can make it positive by taking the reciprocal. So these are the laws of exponents. First one here. Second division. Third, two powers. Fourth, base is different but powers are same. Fifth, any number to the power 0. And here negative power can be made positive by taking reciprocals. So this is laws of exponents, chapter number 10. So all the questions that you are doing here, you will have to use these laws of exponents. Then direct and inverse proportion, there is no formula as such, but to explain to you the difference between direct and inverse. Direct proportion means when one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. When one decreases, the other also decreases proportionally. Inverse proportion means when one increases, the other is decreasing. So direct proportion is, let's say, the more we buy, the more we have to pay. Okay, so I'm just explaining. Let's say one copy costs rupees 10. So 5 copies cost how much? So one copy is 10, 5 copies will obviously cost more. When the number of copies is increasing, the cost will be more. Copies is increasing, cost is increasing. So this is direct. Whenever we are having direct, we will cross multiply. X into 1 is 5 into 10. X is 50. So 50 rupees has to be paid for 5 notebooks. This is direct proportion. More you buy, more. So same way, more time or will be there, the more distance you will travel. Inverse proportion is speed and distance. For example, speed and time. Speed and time is an example of inverse. More speed you will travel a distance. Suppose you want to cover 100 kilometers. If you travel fast, that means the speed is more, right? When the speed is more, time taken will be less. Okay. So suppose there is a question that when you're traveling at 60 km per hour, you are reaching a destination in 3 hours. If he is traveling at 40 km per hour, then how long will he take to reach the destination? So what is happening is the speed is decreased. When speed is decreased, time taken will be more. You see, speed is less, but time taken will increase. So this is inverse proportion. In inverse proportion, we will not cross multiply, we will multiply straight. 60 into 3. So it's not like this, it's straight. 60 into 3 is 40 into x. This is 180 is 40x. X will be 180 upon 40. So this is going to be 9 by 2, 4.5 hours. So if you are traveling with a speed of 40 km per hour, then you will take 4.5 hours to reach your destination. So the main thing in this chapter is to identify which questions are direct and which are inverse. If it is direct, you will cross multiply. And if it is inverse, you are going to multiply straight line wise and equate it. The only thing that you have to remember is that if you are writing copy details here, the copy detail should be below. Here also see the speed details are on one side, time details are on one side. It should not interchange. Then we come to the next chapter. The next chapter is factorization. Now, in factorization, there are 4 identities which we have to do. One is a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square will be a square plus b square plus 2ab, all positive. A minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab. Okay, so there is one negative here. This is all positive. Then a square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. This is the third identity. And fourth identity, x plus a into x plus b equal to x square plus a plus b in brackets, outside the bracket x plus ab. Okay, x plus b is x square plus a plus b within brackets, outside the bracket x plus ab. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 identities has to be done in this chapter because you will have questions here in which these identities have to be used. Then only you will be able to solve these questions. So all these questions that you see, like here, factorize, you will have to use these here, factorize 4p square minus 9q square. So this I will write as 2p whole square. This I will write as 3q whole square. So this is going to be a square minus b square format. So all this is factorization based on identities. This is a square plus b square plus 2ab format. So I'm going to get a plus b whole square. So we need to learn up these identities, the 4 identities, which is also given at the end of your chapter in the summary here. Right? You will find this 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 identities you have to learn in this chapter of factorization. In the last chapter, chapter number 13, Introduction to Graphs. This is only graphs, reading of graphs and making of graphs when the points are given. There is no formula. So these are the formulas that you should know in the entire course. So you can start revising and get prepared for your final exams. Because unless we know the formulas, we will not be able to solve the questions. So formulas are an integral part of mathematics. Kindly learn up the formulas and practice writing these formulas, because if the formulas are wrong, obviously the questions will go wrong. So I hope I was able to revise with you all the formulas. Please do spend some time and go through this video and write down and practice so that you will be able to remember the formulas when the questions come. Thank you and all the best.